Welcome, golfers. Another Swing Secrets here in my teaching studio. And this week we're going to talk about something that is critical for every player, and that's posture. At our school, we talk all the time that if you don't set up properly, you're going to have to compensate during your golf swing to hit the ball properly. And everything really works backwards. And to me, grip is a biggie. Alignment obviously is critical. I mean, everything matters in golf, but posture is so important, because if you're in balance at the start of your golf swing, you're likely to stay in balance. If you're out of balance at the start of your golf swing, or you're not in an athletic position, don't expect to move in balance and athletically. It's not going to happen. So let's break it down a little bit using one of my favorite clips. This is Jason Day, who looks so athletic over the golf ball. All the guys and gals do today. They all look super over the ball, but Jason Day looks particularly good with his nice clean lines. So let's talk about it. First of all, let's talk about legs. So many players, I move up to the lesson tee and start chatting with them, and they're just really standing over the ball. The legs are just kind of asleep. It's like they're standing there like I'm standing here talking to you. They're just straight and not looking really athletic. And the way that golfer gets over the golf ball, he kind of just bends forward, and the back rounds like a turtle, and all the balance moves to the toes. So that's not a good thing. Another golfer I might approach on the lesson tee has heard bend the knees, and there it's just a elevator down to the second floor, a straight down drop, and they end up with a little bit of stress on their thighs and overflex, and that's not right either. The way to set your legs properly, what I want you to think about is maybe a guard in basketball, maybe someone waiting for a serve in tennis, kind of bouncing around, maybe a shortstop waiting for the hitter to hit a ball towards them. Their legs are flexed, but they've got what I call, a little bit of readiness to them, a little bit of action to them. They look ready to go. And so you've got to think about waking those legs up and being ready to move that golf club around you, maybe up to 125 miles an hour. You've got to be ready to go. So we need to flex the legs, unlock the legs a little bit, unlock the knees. But the other thing we do to make that all happen and to keep ourselves centered is to kick the hips back a little bit. So when I start looking at great posture, first of all, you can see the amount of flex Jason Day has in his legs here. He's not squatting, but his legs sure don't look straight. So check your legs out in the mirror and see if you're doing that. What enables the whole thing to happen, because we do have to address the golf ball and move our spine onto an angle in the golf ball, is we kick the hip joints back. Ben Hogan said that it's like sitting a little back on a bar stool. That was the thought he had. And if we look at Jason Day here, we'll draw a nice line down the back of his bum, straight down. We see that his bum is 6, 7, 8 inches behind his heels. So he's not sitting back on his heels, but he's certainly moving his hip joints back and settling into the shot. And what that helps with is it keeps the weight where I think the weight should be, which is just inside the ball of the foot, in the middle of the foot. Think about consistency and balance. If the weight is out towards the toes, you might fall forward. If the weight's on the heels, you might pull back out of posture. If you keep the weight in the middle of the feet, right under your laces, I think you'll be able to rotate and move everything properly in that position. So kicking that bum back really allows him to keep the weight in the middle of his feet. Flexing those legs athletically, keeping them full of energy and alive, gets them ready to swing. And then we want to keep the back nice and straight. Now there's two things we can do wrong. Oopsie. There's two things we can do wrong here. We can either slouch, which many people do, and bend forward, and that drops your head and your chest and brings the weight to your toes and puts you out of position. That's not great. But you can also overarch your back, stick your bum out and keep your chest too high, and then you're not going to be able to activate your core. When I say a straight spine, I mean a natural spine. I want your spine in a natural position. I want your head and your chin up a little bit. Notice how his eyes aren't looking or facing the golf ball. He's looking through the bottom of his eyes down to the golf ball. But his head is up a little bit, and that's because his back is nice and straight. His bum is back, his legs are flexed, and he looks really balanced and athletic. The only other thing I'd add about this from a posture standpoint is I like the arms down from the shoulders and just out a little bit. It's okay. You can see great players who have the arms hanging straight down. You can see others who reach a little bit more. To me, if you're going to swing something around you, you just want to give yourself a little bit of room with your arms. So what we teach here is let's get your thumbs underneath your chin or underneath your mouth. There was this thing I teach sometimes with people who are jammed up and they've got their arms too close to them, that if you had a little gum in your mouth and you spit it out of your mouth, it should land on the top of your hands or on your thumbs. So if that part of your face, as it were, your chin, is over your thumbs or the bottom part of your grip, you're going to be in a nice position over that golf ball. Does that make sense to you? So let's review just here quickly. Weight in the middle of the feet, under the laces. Let's get the weight in the middle of the feet. Let's wake those legs up and have a nice amount of unlocking or a little bit of knee flex in there, but they're not squatting. The bum kicks back, and that sitting back on that bar stool a la Ben Hogan allows us to have our spine on a tilt as it should, but not draw the weight to our toes. Let's keep the head up. Let's keep our spine line nice and straight. And then in my mind, I like those arms out just a little bit. When I was a kid, I was told that regardless of the club, by a professional, my dad was a golf pro, by the way, you want 4 to 5 inches of distance from the edge of your slacks to the end of the golf club. So a little bit of room there so you can swing those arms. And if you can get yourself in that square, balanced, athletic position, the game is so much easier. It really is. Get in the right posture and just rotate around your spine versus being in the wrong posture and trying to find it in your backswing or on the way down. It'll never lead to good golf. Get yourselves in front of a mirror, get on a smartphone, have a look at yourselves and see if that bum is back, see if you're like athletic and ready to go. And if you do, you'll play better golf. That's your swing secret for today. For more swing secrets, more great content like this, you can subscribe to this channel, or you can find me anywhere on social media, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, trying to make you a better golfer.